Rise from your grave. You knew I was going to make the Altered Beast reference. Surely you knew that. Welcome back to Sonic 2 Delta, everybody. Today we're going to be hanging out in the Marble Zone a little bit. It's a pretty cool zone. Obviously this was the second zone in the original Sonic the Hedgehog, but it makes its way in a little bit later on this time around. Quick note, you can actually go in here for 30 rings. I'm going to be avoiding those for now because I don't actually want to turn into Super Tails, because he tends to make the game a little bit too easy. Now, in case you're wondering why my score and life counter are different from last time, this is because basically there was a mouse cursor in front of the screen on this episode that I didn't notice when I was sort of going through and marathoning the game last time around. And as having mouse cursors in front of the screen is not actually something I'm okay with in my videos, I decided that I would go back and essentially redo the series after that point. So that basically is the reason I haven't been uploading this series. But we're past that now. I'm going to be marathoning through the rest, and hopefully getting through it, finishing uploading it, because I do think this is quite a good ROM hack. Maybe as ROM hacks go, it's not the most original, but it is one of the most fun of the ones that I've played. Basically, as I've said before, it just combines elements of Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 2 Beta, and some original stuff. So it's sort of like the greatest and best of all those things. It's quite a long game as well for that reason, but definitely worth your time. Come on, I don't want to get hit by the lava here. Now, one thing you'll notice right off the bat... Oh, I ended up getting Super Tails anyway. One thing you'll notice right off the bat when comparing this zone to other zones in the original Sonic the Hedgehog would be that it's quite a bit slower paced, especially when you compare this to Green Hill Zone, which came just one zone before it. That is essentially a hold right to win level for the most part, with a few twists in it, obviously. But this one, yeah, you're going to have to be a lot more deliberate and a lot more careful with your movements and your platforming specifically. Basically, this level's got a lot of hazards, including auto-scrolling segments, which wouldn't be the first thing that came to mind when you said Sonic the Hedgehog, but, you know, they're used sparingly enough, I suppose, that they're not too big a deal. They kind of serve to break up the action a little bit. If you do consider that this was from the first Sonic the Hedgehog game, whoops, they were sort of still getting their identity set, I guess you could say. Don't get hit by that. So yeah, it's a nice change of pace. One thing I will say is that if Sonic the Hedgehog was one of the first games you ever played, as it was for me when I was a kid, coming off of Green Hill Zone, you're going to have probably a heck of a time trying to get through this level. The jumps are a lot more precise, there's a lot more stuff trying to kill you, and as I said, you know, just holding to the right, not going to work out so well for you. So this is a pretty difficult second zone if you take those things into consideration. That said, if you've been playing Sonic for a long time, it's not going to give you too much trouble. I will say I very much like the aesthetic of the stage. It's a little bit more grim. Okay. A little bit of lag there. That's cool. It's a little bit more grim and dark than Green Hill Zone, obviously. But it still very much fits the whole Sonic 1 aesthetic. So it's quite nice. Obviously things are still pretty bright and colorful for the most part. Just a little bit more grim, bright and colorful, if that makes sense. So we got like moss and grass on stone, and obviously lava. Well, looks like I ended up getting Super Tails anyway. Might as well grab me some more rings here. Whenever you go over an incline like that on this stage, you're going to want to check that. It's a nice opportunity to build up some score right here. As you can see, the multiplier goes up every time, just like if you were bouncing off of enemies. And I guess we'll just run along here, because I'm Super Tails, and I care not for your flippantry. Anyways, as you can see, that would have been a little bit slow going if I was not Super Tails, but alas, I am. Act 3 is going to throw a nice little horrific section at us, which gave me quite the difficult time as a kid, but it's very manageable nowadays. So one thing that this stage has in common with a lot of the Sonic 1 levels is branching paths. You can actually go to the right here, or you can go underground, starting here, to take a little bit of an alternate route through the level. Obviously, everything ultimately leads to the same place, but it's cool nonetheless. Also, don't run into that like I just stupidly did. I think the spin dash makes all the Sonic 1 levels a little bit more enjoyable. And more auto-scrollers. Cool. Not too much else to say about the zone, really. Again, it's just sort of a nice change of pace from the speed through all the levels sort of things. I mean, if every level was this slow-paced, probably wouldn't have been as enjoyable of a game, but having a little bit of variety is always a good thing, in my opinion. I suppose I can go over the rest of my plans for this series. As I've said, I'm pretty much just going to be marathoning through the rest of it, probably uploading them all relatively quickly. The series has been going for a while, especially with that little break in the middle, so I'd like to get it done. And hopefully convince some people to check out the ROM hack, because it's quite a lot of fun. If you've never played Sonic 1 or Sonic 2, well, this might be a good place to start, honestly. As you're sort of getting the best of both. Or all of both, I guess, would be another way of looking at it. In this section, I believe you actually don't have to take the auto-scroller. You can just skip over it and grab this one instead. And your best bet here would be to just spin dash, but if you don't have that ability, say it's Sonic 1, you can just do that. Also, those things are actually kind of frightening, if you really take a look at what they are. As I said, things are a little bit more grim. In the grim darkness, there are only rings. And I'm going to grab Super Tails so I can just speed through this section here. Coming up is actually that difficult section I was talking about. That would be this. You have to actually jump onto the weights, avoid the spikes and the enemies, and make your way to the right. If you fall down, you actually go down into the lava of the previous section, so watch out for that. At any rate, once you're through that, we're pretty much onto our boss, who we've actually already seen in this playthrough, in Winter Hill Zone, I believe. The trick here would be to avoid the fire, so say he flies over here, I'm going to want to jump to the other one, get a hit on him, and then jump to the other side. Although you can actually manage to land 2 hits if you hit him on the initial swoop. And obviously he's no trouble at all if you have Super Tails. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next level.